What if, starting tomorrow, you had to live your entire life without money? No cash, no card, no digital payments, nothing. For 30 days, you can't buy anything, pay for anything, or use money in any way. Imagine waking up on day one, checking your wallet, and realizing it doesn't matter anymore. You step outside with confidence, thinking, this won't be that hard. But within a few hours, reality starts to hit. You get hungry. Normally, you just go to a store and buy food without thinking twice. But now, you walk into a shop, pick something up, and suddenly freeze. You can't pay. You try explaining your situation, maybe even laugh about it, but the cashier just looks confused. Because in the real world, people don't give things away for free. So you leave, with nothing. And just like that, your first real problem appears. Hunger. Now you start thinking differently. If you can't buy food, how do you get it? Maybe you ask someone. Maybe you offer to help. After a few awkward attempts, you find someone willing to listen. You help them carry groceries, and in return, they give you a small meal. It's simple, but it feels like a huge win. You just traded effort for survival. Day 2 comes, and things are already harder. You need water, food again, maybe even a place to rest. Everything that used to be automatic now requires effort. You walk instead of taking transport. You search instead of buying. You think before every move. By day 3, you're tired, not just physically, but mentally. Every small decision takes energy. Every need becomes a challenge. Then comes another problem. You need shelter. Normally, you'd pay rent or book a place, but now you have to rely on people. You ask around. Some ignore you. Some say no. Eventually, someone lets you stay for a night in exchange for helping them clean or fix something. Again, you trade effort for survival, and slowly a pattern begins to form. Without money, everything becomes about value. Not money value, but human value. What can you do? What can you offer? What can you give in exchange? By day 5, the excitement is completely gone. This is no longer fun, it's exhausting. You wake up every day with one goal: survive. Food, water, shelter, that's it. You don't think about entertainment, comfort, or luxury anymore. You think about basic needs. And that's when you start realizing something important. Money isn't just about buying things. It's about removing friction. It makes life faster, easier, more predictable. Without it, everything slows down. Everything becomes uncertain. Then things get harder. Around day 7, people become less willing to help, not because they're bad, but because they have their own lives. You begin to feel the social limits of a moneyless life. You can't always depend on kindness. You try offering help in different ways, cleaning, carrying, fixing, but not everyone needs those things. And when they don't, you're stuck. You feel rejected, invisible even. And that hits harder than hunger. By day 10, something changes. You start adapting. You get smarter. You observe more. You learn what people need. You approach situations differently. Instead of asking randomly, you look for opportunities. You see someone struggling with something and you step in before they even ask. Slowly, people start trusting you. They recognize you, and that changes everything. Survival becomes slightly easier, not because the situation improved, but because you improved. You begin to build small connections, nothing big, nothing permanent, but enough to get by. Someone gives you food regularly because you help them daily. Another offers you a place to rest sometimes. You've created a small system, not with money, but with trust. And that's when you realize something powerful. Money is just a shortcut. It replaces trust, time, and negotiation. Without it, you have to build those things yourself. By day 15, your mindset is completely different. You're no longer reacting, you're planning. You think ahead. If I help here today, I might secure food for tomorrow. You become more strategic, more aware. You start valuing time differently. Before, you could solve problems instantly with money. Now, everything takes effort, hours of effort, and that makes you appreciate something you never thought about before: efficiency. Then comes the biggest realization. Money isn't the problem people think it is. It's not just a system that takes from you, it's a system that supports everything around you. It allows people to specialize, to focus on one thing and trade it easily with others. Without it, everything becomes complicated. Every exchange becomes a negotiation. Every need becomes a challenge. And suddenly, you understand why money exists. By day 20, you've changed as a person. You appreciate small things more. A simple meal feels valuable. A safe place to sleep feels like a luxury. You notice effort, your effort and others. You begin to respect the systems around you, even the ones you used to complain about. You realize that behind every product, every service, every convenience, there's a structure, a system supported by money. And without it, that structure becomes fragile. But even with all your adaptation, there are limits. Around day 25, you start feeling them clearly. You can survive, yes, but you can't grow. You can't plan long term. You can't build something stable. Everything is temporary. Everything depends on constant effort. If you stop for even a short time, everything falls apart. There's no security, no backup, no system protecting you. And that's when you truly understand the difference between survival and stability. Finally, day 30 arrives. The challenge is over. You can use money again. And suddenly, everything feels different. Buying food feels easy. Moving around feels simple. Life feels structured again. But now you see it clearly. Money isn't just something you spend, it's something that supports your entire life. It gives you time, it gives you options, it gives you stability. It allows you to focus on growth instead of survival. But at the same time, you've learned something even deeper. Money itself isn't the source of value. You are. Your skills, your effort, your ability to help others, that's where real value comes from. Money is just a tool that represents that value, and when you understand that, everything changes. So what happens if you live without money for 30 days? You struggle, you adapt, you learn, and most importantly, you understand. You understand that money isn't your enemy, it's not something to hate or ignore, it's something to understand and use wisely. Because in the end, money doesn't control your life, your understanding of it does. And once you truly understand it, you stop surviving and you start building.